This video is discussing the dead hands release. Now, I had a good question asked about, don't a lot of tour pros describe like this feeling of dead hands through impact? And they'll say, well, when it feels like I'm working on supination and unhinging, like that feels like very active hands down through the bottom. And I'll say, yes, the goal is to feel a little bit more dead hands through impact. But the problem is you're coming from two different perspectives and two different baselines. What I see on the internet is when people describe a dead hands release, they actively rotate their arms, and it's pretty easy to see if you know what to look for in the forearms. Because what they'll usually say is, okay, I've got the club here, and then I'm just gonna rotate my body, and it's gonna be pointing at the target there, and then I just extend my arms, and it's gonna be pointing at the target, and there's zero shaft rotation. With measuring 3D, I've never seen a swing that had zero shaft rotation, and it wouldn't work very well if I were to see it. And the reason is going to be because of shaft lean. If you're going to have shaft lean, that means you're hitting the ball before the club gets straight out in front of you. So you can see if I were to take this and rotate it without, I'll do literally dead hands. I'll lock my hands in place and I just really rotated my body, and you can see that the club face is pointing well up towards the sky. So that means I would either have to grip it in an absurdly strong grip like this to have that dead hands approach, or I'd have to have some shaft rotation. And the problem with gripping it absurdly strong like this is I can't extend my arms because they're going to rotate when I start to extend them. And if I was to extend my arms, you would see that the bottom of the swing would actually work more low to high. The rotation of the forearms helps get that feeling of covering the ball with the right hand. At this point, I wouldn't be in position to fully cover the ball. So what usually ends up happening is when I see other instructors on the internet describing the dead hands release, they will go like this, and then they'll just turn through with their body and they'll hit it straight. Now, to hit that straight, I rotated my forearms because otherwise you would see a finish position where right here, I'll drop the club, right here compared to my body or compared to my sternum, the left arm's pointing to the sky and the right arm is pointing more at the camera. So compared to my sternum is now here, I would put them in the same position. This would be truly dead hands, but it doesn't get there, it gets pointing out at the target. If I was to bring that back to the target, you could see that my hands have rotated like this during that phase. What happens is good golfers, especially golfers who were good as juniors, usually come from a school where they've learned to create a lot of hand speed and they've been overly active with the rotation of the arms. And so what they end up getting to do is they have a pattern where they're basically jumping and really kind of lagging and rotating those arms, and then they're tired of hitting hooks and an instructor teaches them to stay down and rotate their body. Well, if you're overdoing the arms and you start rotating your body, it feels like you've done less with your arms. What I prefer is less trying to chase a feeling, like chasing a feeling of doing dead hands, and rather trace a relationship. So if you get the certain movement so that the club is going through the right time and space, it may feel like a very active release. It may feel very different, but if it produces the same results as someone who feels dead hands, then you have your pattern to train and you're gonna have the same level of success. So now I'll demonstrate a couple. So first one I'll do is truly dead hands. I'm gonna get it into this position. I'm gonna lock my arms and hands in place compared to my sternum because I've kind of got the ability to do that. And then I'm gonna make a good body rotation, and you can see that that ball, without having any rotation of my arms, that ball launched 30 degrees right and continued to fade over that way. Now we'll do the junior pattern, which would be a little bit more of rotation and flip. So I'll get it to that position and I'll do a little bit more of really active flipping and rotating, and you can see that that overdrew. It was a pull draw. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm going to balance that out by adding a little bit of body movement to a rotation arm extension. One of the other ways that I think some people feel dead hands is if you're used to feeling more of a flip like this, having your arms extend without the club passing your body will feel like your hands are doing almost nothing, because really more of the release is happening from the shoulders and the elbows and the triceps. So we'll try to balance one of those back in. So we've got dead hands, overly flip, and then more normal, where you could see if I brought those arms back to where they were, that's a lot more rotated and closed. That's kind of the release right in through there. So if you're struggling with chasing a feeling of dead hands, I'd rather you train the movements that create the right looks. And if it feels active, fine. If it feels like dead hands, great. But a lot of golfers fall into slumps chasing a specific feeling. If you like the way we break these down, then you'll love the content over at golfsmartacademy.com. So I've linked a playlist relevant to this video topic here at the bottom. I want you to click on it. There you'll be able to see anywhere from 20 to 50 more videos related to this key topic. Go over there, sign up for a free membership. You can watch as many videos as you want for 1 week, and if you enjoy it, please sign up and you can work with us on your game long term. If you're not quite ready to make the leap and head over for your free membership, then please subscribe or like this video. That way you'll get updates as far as when we create new analysis videos or new content to share with you on YouTube.